1, 2, 3, 4.
Good evening. Welcome to the August 11th, 2026 Foxborough School Committee meeting. This meeting will be broadcast live and recorded by Foxborough Cable Access. I'll entertain a motion to open the meeting.
Motion to open the meeting?
A second?
All in favor? 400. Joe, would you like to lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we begin, just wanted to make everyone aware that Sarah Ladani could not be with us today. Is there anyone here for open public comment? Seeing none, next on the agenda we have the elementary STEM pilot and the elementary school principals. Come on up.
Okay. So as we have Mr. Worth and Mr. Guglio come forward, I will also take the opportunity. This is your first formal introduction to the new Taylor Elementary School principal, David Guglio.
Hello,
so
everyone.
he is joining us, and you'll be seeing lots of him, I'm sure, throughout the school year. So
Nice to see all of you today.
Welcome.
they are here because of what the recent circumstances that we find ourselves in. As you're aware from our school committee meeting at the end of the year, you supported the pilot of a STEM position for grades 1 and 2 based on our unsuccessful recruitment efforts to be able to hire an elementary Spanish teacher. We actually had 2 openings, and after 5 actual postings, we were not able to garner any candidates due to certification, due to some looking for full-time. What has happened since then is our one elementary Spanish teacher resigned, and that has left us in a situation to where we're trying to solve a problem before school starts. And so what we're here to do is to ask for you, for the big vote you already took, just to support the expansion of that pilot program for grades 3 and 4 as we open schools. The principals have been, Ms. Morrissey's not able to join us, but the 3 of them have been working on the scheduling and looking at how we can make that work, because it is a contractual requirement for the elementary teachers, their prep period. So where that happened twice a cycle, we cannot go without having that position there. So after a lot of planning, a lot of thought, and how can we make this work for next year as we kind of go through at this pilot, would be to expand the STEM pilot. They've come up with some solutions to where we had 3 individuals before, but with some creative scheduling, it looks as though that we can make it work with 2 people by increasing the FTEs of some other positions that we have within the district. So we wanted to have them here to answer any questions that you would have, and then to share that in order to open school and to have staffing in place to expand the pilot for STEM into grades 3 and 4 for next year is the ask. I don't know, Robert, you might want to add
Yeah,
a
I'll
little
just
bit
add
more,
that,
because you've worked so hard on this with your colleagues.
After we last met, we spent a long time looking at the schedules, and we're on like version 15 now. We have quite a few different schedules. The complexity of the elementary specialist schedule it's complex in its own right when you have just one school. We share some staff. So Taylor and Burrell have shared an art teacher and a music teacher for many years now. And Taylor and Igo have also shared a little bit their wellness teacher to some extent over the years. When you have 2 schools sharing one specialist, like an art teacher, music teacher, wellness teacher, so on, it kind of adds to the complexity. This added another layer where we actually had the 3 schools sharing multiple staff members, some across the 3 schools with our last iteration of the schedule. We had just kind of settled on a final schedule. We figured it out. I actually sent it out to my staff. I was really happy with it. And then we had this resignation, which was very unexpected. So as a result of that, we're kind of coming back to you and asking for something similar to what we asked for last time. In this hardship where we know that we won't be able to successfully fill this Spanish position, as we have unsuccessfully been able to fill the other Spanish positions that we've had available over the past 9 months in the BIT. We were asking to extend the pilot to 3rd and 4th grade. And last night, with this in mind, I've started to kind of come up with some other iterations of the schedule, and I'm confident that, like Dr. Berto said, we will be able to make it work with 2 staff members for STEM across the schools, with the addition of some increased FTEs at the IGO school as well, to kind of help us supplement that contractual obligation that we have. And I'm happy to answer any questions. I know the schedule very well for my own building, in addition to now the other buildings, which I've really enjoyed getting to know their schedules a little bit more throughout this process too. So I can speak to any questions you have.
Anyone back? Go ahead.
2 things. So first, the Spanish teacher, was that full-time or was that 0.9? What was?
That was 0.9. It was
Okay.
moving up to a 1.0 in order to make that schedule work. Where we had also advertised for a 0.5. That the itinerant staff, by going across the schools, is the part that makes it tricky. But even though we had increased that 0.9 to a 1.0, we still had the resignation.
Okay, so the issue, and I just want to make sure I'm understanding it fully, is in order to make the Spanish at 3rd and 4th grade work, we needed 1.5 teachers. We couldn't fill the 0.5 at all, despite 5 post-ins. So you were scrambling already as sort of how to figure that one out. And then you had 1. So although there's possibility that the 1 could be filled because it's a full-time position, you're still in the same boat with the 1.5.
Exactly.
Okay.
So what we're doing is, one of the things that we've been exploring along with the middle school is we have a 0.6 STEM position. And if we were to increase, that is one option, to increase that position up. So it's not another person, it's increasing that FTE, then that would allows for vertical alignment between the schools, and where that person was leaving at 1 o'clock every day because it was a 0.6 position. Robert has looked at the schedule where Borough's the closest. Can we then pool those resources, if you will, between the 2 schools to make that work? That's how you could end up, instead of having 3 individuals, we would have 2, because we would be leveraging positions we already have in place.
Right, and by doing that where you're moving up the employee, that employee's already getting their benefits and all that other stuff. So
Correct.
even though it's more of just a salary increase instead of all the other expenses.
Yeah, you're
that come
actually
with
down.
personnel.
You're actually down a person, which would have been a benefited position.
Okay, yep. All right, that's good.
Are we still posting for a Spanish teacher?
No, that's the ask, is that we would post for a STEM teacher instead, because it's what Pat was saying, you would need a 1.5. We've just not been successful. So if we post for a STEM teacher instead, go through the pilot this year, and then that way we can reevaluate. It's really hard. I canvassed the 14 surrounding communities, and none of them have elementary world language programs because it's hard as far as finding those folks. And then a lot of them have had budget cuts to where they've lost those programs. But out of the 14 communities around us, we've been the only one that has been able to sustain the program as long as we've have.
And I recall from last time, it was briefly touched on, why do you anticipate it being easier to find a STEM elementary position as opposed to a Spanish elementary position?
So 2 pieces. One, elementary Spanish certification is more challenging than an elementary license.
Okay,
So if you have an elementary license, then you're going to be able to fulfill that position.
Okay.
Because you're in a STEM position, you're going to be taking the elementary science standards, and then that would be the certification that's needed. So you have a lot more to choose from as far as the pool of candidates is much greater.
and what will the STEM position that's being hired, what is that? Is that 0.6, 1, what is?
That would be where the Spanish position that we had, that was 0.9, that moved to a 1.0, that then we had the resignation. you would replace that 1.0 Spanish with a STEM instead of hiring a 0.5 position, because we know that we've not been able to do that. That's where we'd be increasing the positions that we already have that are not full-time in order to make that work.
Okay. And it'll probably be easier to get a 1.0
Elementary
STEM
certified
teacher
person.
than a 0.5 STEM teacher. Okay.
Anyone else have questions? I would say my question is, since this is a pilot and we are testing it for 1 year, would it make sense to consider opening the Spanish position up and posting it again maybe halfway through, or getting an update halfway through the year on how the pilot is going, so that when we get to the end of the year, if this is something we want to pivot from, we're not scrambling within a month or so or 2 months to try and reassess the plan and figure out an
Oh,
alternative.
absolutely. They've already committed to the work and to survey families and to survey students and to really assess it throughout the school year. And as we get into the budget season as well, what are the needs, what's coming forward? So I would anticipate that it wouldn't just be one update, it would be more than one update along the way.
We've already done a thorough curriculum analysis to determine exactly what would be happening at first through fourth grade for the STEM special. We have a dedicated STEM special meeting next week to start the building blocks of figuring out what is that timeline, who are we serving, what are we serving, and how often are we serving, to make sure that we're measuring student success, student outcomes, as well as the impact on the building as a whole and the greater community. So the school committee would absolutely be updated on those.
And I think the other important piece, as a reminder, is that when we had the science curriculum review 2 years ago, and then the last 2 years of the budget process, we have brought forward a elementary STEM position, and we've not been able to do that through the budget process. And so now we're in a position where we need to do something. So it's not just a random idea. It has been something that has been planned and thought out thoroughly for a couple of years. So that's the reason we would be able to pivot as quickly as we are.
One of the added benefits as well is, as much of a loss as Spanish will be for our elementary teachers in grades 1 to 4, an added benefit is they really do appreciate the additional help with the content area of STEM, which covers science as well, which is something that historically they've been responsible for teaching, in addition to social studies, ELA, math. It's, elementary teachers often, they face that challenge of teaching all content areas to all students throughout the day, unlike, that secondary level where you kind of have that specialized area. So they do really look forward to, and I know they will appreciate having that additional help in teaching science in that content area of STEM.
As an enhancement. Teachers are still teaching science,
Yes.
but it's just an enhancement.
Yep. And if you recall, coming out of the curriculum review, for those of you that were not part of the committee previously, coming out of that science curriculum review, we very intentionally purchased some hands-on science materials, makerspace kits, microscopes, materials that would supplement and add on to the existing science curriculum and really offset and enhance the science learning experience that's already happening at the elementary level. So that's really the intention behind that STEM special curriculum and what they would be planning for across grades 1 through 4.
Anything else?
And what's the pronunciation?
It's Gulia.
Gulia?
Yeah, it rhymes with Julia. So that's a lot of kids call me Mr.
Guy
G.
from The Wedding Singer?
Yeah, the
I was
wedding
just going to
singer.
say, I think that's a quote from a movie,
yeah.
actually.
Yeah, my kids were asking. I was like, I don't know. You might just have you call him Mr. G. I don't know.
A lot of kids do, and staff, so it's fine.
I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to accept the elementary STEM pilot in place of the elementary foreign language program.
I second.
All in favor? 400. Thank you, and good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
We'll keep you updated.
Thank you. Next on the agenda, we have the budget transfers. Ms. Sheridan.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
I just have one budget transfer tonight. So as you know, in your policy, any budget transfer that's over $25,000 has to come to the school committee for approval. So I have one budget transfer in the amount of $125,766.89. It's coming from various accounts, and it's going into the building and maintenance account. So this is for year-end projects that we were able to do, and that is, we finished the gym floors, we did some replenishing of playground mulch, replacement of filters for all the units, emptying the science tanks, AC mini split ductless units, some electrical and plumbing upgrades that needed to be done, as well as custodial supplies and materials to strip and wax all the floors. So this is normal at the end of the year. If we have any money, we try to get some of the projects done at the end of year. So that's what we did again this year. So it's $125,766.89. I'm not going to read all the accounts it's coming from because you'll see it's a large amount of them as we pull a little bit of money from here and there to do some of these projects.
Does anyone have any questions, comments? I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve the budget transfer to building maintenance in the amount of $125,766.89.
A second?
All in favor? 400. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda, we have the Foxborough High School Foxborough Touchdown Club 25th anniversary of 9/11. Come on up. Yep, whoever's coming up. And before we start, the hair looks great. It truly does. Of course. Make yourself comfortable.
So hi everyone, my name's Liz Kessock. I am currently serving as the treasurer for the Foxborough Touchdown Club. So we're here today on behalf of the high school Touchdown Club. Myself, some of the Foxborough football families, and our 2026 varsity captain student athletes are here to share our ideas for our first home game of the 2026 season. So our first home game happens to fall on September 11th this year. So this year, being the 25th anniversary of 9/11, as a team, we wanted to do something special to commemorate this moment in time and our first home game. So in collaboration with some of the Foxborough families, the Foxborough Police, the Fire Department, and the Touchdown Club, we would like to take time at the game to honor the lives lost and affected 25 years ago and recognize all the first responders and their heroic efforts. So both the Foxborough Police and the Foxborough Fire will be represented at the game. The Foxborough Fire will be presenting an American flag on one of their trucks. And the Touchdown Club is coordinating a special tribute on the field, and I think you guys have a picture of that already. And during the halftime, we were going to plan to have a 25-second moment of silence to honor all the lives affected 25 years ago. And all the police and fire in attendance will be honored on the field. So the Touchdown Club is committed to supporting this effort responsibly and respectfully, and we hope you will consider approving this meaningful evening of honor. And the Touchdown Club, in collaboration with community members, are funding the cost of this commemoration. And so today we're just asking for your support for our 9/11 tribute.
Questions, comments, concerns?
I think it looks good, and I think it's, you forget like how quickly, I mean, you weren't even born yet. But,
I was actually thinking about that the other day. I was like, oh my gosh, that's 25 years.
Yeah.
That's
Seems like a long time.
There's actually a memorial at the Public Safety Building for the 9/11. Because there were Foxborough families that were affected by it as well. And I think it's nice as a way of sort of honoring those that were affected by it. And, you know, they'll never forget. And I think that that is an important part of it. So I do think it's a good cause.
I actually, before I came in here, I was actually talking to Amy Lebrecht from the J.C.'s, and she actually mentioned how there's a number of community groups that have done 9/11 ceremonies in the past and would probably be willing to help coordinate or help participate in this in some sort of way. So, I would say open invitation, but probably reach out to
Sure.
other groups, and if any groups hear this and want to reach out, I'm sure the more hands that help, the better it'll be, so.
That sounds great.
So today's obviously just informational only on the agenda, so it'll get put back on the agenda if the committee would like next meeting, and that's when we can have further discussion and/or a vote.
That's August 24th, right?
6th.
26th?
26, Joe knows, 26. Any questions? No? Well, thanks,
Oh,
and
thank
good
you,
luck
guys.
this year.
I was going to say, are we ready for the
Thank you.
season?
We're ready.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? 400, thank you.